TV Africa, where we shall be addressing the topic Igbos are Jews and the menace of this inferiority complex. Uh, Good day, everyone. Once again, good day, everyone. Good day. Good day from the studio. Welcome to today's show on Humanist TV Africa, where we shall be addressing the topic Igbos are Jews and the menaces of this inferiority complex. Yes, I regard this as inferiority complex because I wonder why some persons of a particular tribe would be claiming to be what they are not, despite 2017 DNA debunking the claim. Religion can do anything. It can promote any ignorance. This notion and quest to be Jews when you are not is inspired by the biblical myth that Israel is a chosen race. Well, against the backdrop of this myth, we should all note that everyone is chosen and called to humanity. So So we should all know that everyone is called to is called to humanity, to serve humanity, and not to allow myth, and ignorance to uh, becloud our sense of judgment. Yes, so I thank everyone viewing live. I thank everyone. So join us on the show on Igbos are Jews. Igbos are Jews and the menace of this inferiority complex. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Let's play our slide. You see? Yes, they claim if you can see very well what is written on the screen, you know, what the DNA test result reveal about Igbo Jews. This is the claim. They claim that the Igbos are Jews. You understand? Actually made a DNA test to be conducted. Yes, and the outcome of the DNA test was reported by Daily Post Nigeria. It reads, what the new DNA test result reveals about Igbos. The DNA result has confirmed that Igbos are not Jews. The result says that there is no possible ancestral link between Igbo and the Jews. The international president of Jewish Voice Ministries, Rabbi Jonathan Menace, announced that the result of saliva samples taken in Nnewi, yes, it's announced that the result of the saliva samples taken in Nnewi has shown that Igbos are not Jews. The DNA result has confirmed that Igbos are not Jews. The result says that there is no possible link between Igbos and the Jews. Members of the group had gathered at
in Nigeria
at Uragu.
Something big happened. Something big.
Oh yes, this is the slide. Members of the group had gathered in Orago Newi to collect what would be confirmation of DNA test result of Igbo's claims that they are descent of Israel. Yes, rabbis who read the report from a laboratory based in Houston, Texas, the United States of America, said that the results of the samples taken from Nigeria randomly on some people in Igbo land bear no semblance with the ones in the database of the laboratory. The Israel, in company of three of his compatriots, said that none of the 124 specimens taken from Nigeria matched the samples in the Houston laboratory, which has 70 years experience in DNA business. So that is how sometimes I begin to wonder. Now to the objective of this show, I begin to wonder why a person will be claiming who he is not. Yes, I am Igbo. That is why on the course of this show,
It
on the
has
course of
proven.
this show, I am fully robed, I am fully equipped, I am fully dressed in my traditional regalia to reflect that I'm Igbo, but I don't give room for any form of inferiority complex. Oh yes, in this show, you know, in this show, we have to make you understand that mm, you know the this claim began when the missionaries came to Nigeria and they introduced the Bible, and the Jews in the Christian Bible and their Torah is regarded as a choosing race, and because of this notion, because of this mythical belief that Jews are claiming that they are, of the tribe of Jews, so that they will be regarded as the choosing race. You understand? So, but I do not, and I debunk such claims as with these facts already stated here, that the DNA conducted shows that the Igbos are not Jews. But the problem is, why are people, why are people still thinking that some Igbos, sorry, still thinking that associating themselves of being of Igbo tribe, even some agitators, instead of agitating, calling for self-determination, which is a fundamental right recognized under Article 20 of the African Charter, and a lot of conventions of the United Nations recognize right to self-determination. But you see a person, instead of agitating this nature giving right, instead of agitating, the person will go to the extent of you know talking of something that are not related to freedom fighting. Freedom fighting is a right, but you shouldn't misinform people by calling yourself a Jew. You are not a Jew. So let's continue. you know, we have to debunk the fact that Igbos are Jews and correct the menaces of this inferiority complex. Because as you can see, in the ongoing Hamas of Palestine and the Israeli war, you see some Igbos, even the educated elites, siding the Jews instead of swing for peace. So swing for peace, you see an educated person siding the Jews. So, and it oftentimes raises support. So it sometimes raises you know, some interest. I am oftentimes baffled by this claim that Igbos are, Jews, when on the contrary, they are not. You can see some prominent people, choose to some prominent Igbos who claim to have read will still come up and support this notion that Igbos are Jews. So, and sometimes it makes me laugh. Yes, it makes me laugh because it is just as I said earlier, the lack of deep knowledge of history that makes people, uh, you know, to to think otherwise. But even if you don't know even if you don't have deep knowledge of history, sorry, you must have read in the paper that that claim has been debunked, as as I pointed out and showed earlier on that newspaper, that that claim has been debunked through a DNA test conducted in Texas. So the menace of this claim, I must have to say, is that some of us Igbos, you know, take side instead of swim for peace in the ongoing war between uh, Palestine and Israel. We took side, forgetting that in 1967 to 1970, we were also victims of genocide. So whenever sometimes religion make us hypocrite. A person that has that sense of humanity, whenever there is war, all he or she needs to ask is for peace. Campaign is for peace, not to be taken side. But religion can make people think anyhow. Religion can sometimes, due to indoctrination, remove that sense of empathy in humans. So, so I oftentimes ask, where is indeed some person's sense of love for humanity? If, sorry, as a person that faced the brunt of the war, the brunt of the war in 1967 to 1970, a war that lasted over 3 years, could come up because of your religious affiliation, because you think your religion made you to understand that Israel is a choosing race. You come up here to side. I'm not saying that Palestine is right. I am not saying that Israel is right. I am calling for peace, and I urge every Igbo child, I urge every human that is breathing to understand this, that humanity is supreme. We should stop using war as a propaganda. After all, some of these wars are being created by some elites, by some bourgeoisies, as a form of money making. You see, if you do your research very well, you see that as the war is going on, some of these world powers are benefiting a lot, are making money from the plight of the people. Women, children, hospitals are being burnt down in the ongoing war. Instead of a man breathing, a human breathing, calling for peace, he is siding, one of the parts, one of the conflicting parties, one of the combating parties. He's siding one of the combating parties to kill another human that is breathing, irrespective of our religious orientation or our tribe. We should also have that sense of love for humanity. So sometimes I begin to ask these people that claim, since Igbos are of the tribe of Jew, a false claim anyway, because it has been proven to be false through a DNA, a false claim anyway. Uh, People, sometimes I ask, as a human being, where is your sense of humanity? If you think because you support a particular, if you are coming from a particular race, that they should be supported to wreak havoc in the name of war. Look, war is bad. Humanity should be supreme. So we should not side anybody because of some false affiliation, tribal affiliation, or racial affiliation we think we have with them. So, so going further, I will ask, how can a person even claim he is not, you know, how can a person even claim who he is not if it is not inferiority complex? How? How can you claim that you are what you are not? It's not possible. It's not possible. Like I said earlier, the claim started emanating when the claim started emanating when the missionaries came. Colonialism was actually the cause of this claim, and people started. Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you
Welcome to
very
the
much,
show.
Council Batsi. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. You are welcome, Comrade Kato. Comrade Kato is a lawyer from Uganda, a humanist, a Pan-Africanist, a modern Pan-Africanist par excellence. There is this sense of Pan-Africanism he identifies with. That Pan-Africanism is that sense of revolution, that sense of technological advancement, because Africa was the cradle of civilization. Every technology, every knowledge you have today emanated from Africa. It's a rare gem. It's not like an average Pan Africanist. So you are welcome to the show, Comrade Kato.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm happy to be here, and please, I'm glad to be hosted by you today.
Thank you, thank you. So I've been talking about the myth that the Igbos of Nigeria are Jews, as a popular belief, and taking you to uh, taking you to where we have passed. There is a newspaper report that has it that this claim of Igbos being Jews are false. There was a time some set of agitators, though I'm not against self-determination, but there was a time some agitators started claiming that they are Jews. Maybe, maybe because they want to get some political affiliation to help them uh, fight for independence. But you don't do that through misinformation. But the claim started going viral. People linking the Igbos to the Jews that made this DNA to be conducted. So, and after the DNA was conducted, it was later, realized that the Igbos has no biological or genetic link with the Israel. So that is where we are now. Okay, so we lost him. We lost him. So let's go on. Let's go on. So okay, you are welcome back. Welcome back to the show. As I was saying, the claim has been debunked by a DNA test, and the DNA test that was conducted 2017 proved that the Igbos have no genetic link with the Jews. So I want your take on this myth that Igbos are Jews.
Thank you so much. You want me to add in something there?
Yes, yes. It has been my. It is appalling that despite this claim, which is everywhere, which anyone who has the flair for research can actually see, can actually dig out, despite these these newspaper reports in black and white, some persons
Yes. Thank you so much.
see, believe. So I want to take on that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, the producer and the host of the show. The host of the show today is, of course, Obasi. Obasi is our host today. I'm happy to be here. And interestingly, Obasi is Igbo, but Obasi is the sober one, the sober Igbo, who says, no, this is just a lie. And I understand that Igbo is one of the largest ethnic tribes in Nigeria, is Igbo. And basically, they are powerful. That is a fact. And they are most educated. They are very educated. They are widely spread all over the world. In fact, when you look at the best performing Africans overseas, the Igbos stand out clearly well. So they are known for their par excellence when it comes to academic prowess. The Igbos have it now, and of course they have in the UK. They have occupied several places. They have been moving for a long time. They have been moving all over the world. They are just like Jews, keep on wandering, wanderers, moving places. So the Igbo are known for moving places. They are known for discovery. They are known for their academic par excellence, and they are known also for claim, which is false, that they are Jews. Now, having said that, not all Igbos actually claim to be Jews. You are just one of them who doesn't claim to be Jews, but many Igbos, and for me, I understand it for political reasons, they are claiming to be Jews. For political reasons. Of course, they will say spiritual reasons, they will say religious reasons. I've been researching the Jews of Africa, especially when I was writing my first book on religion. I did research on Igbos, but not only Igbos, about 10 tribes in Africa which claim to be Jew. You are not alone. Even in Uganda, we have a Jew tribe in Uganda. Even in Kenya, they are part of them who claim to be Jews. Even in South Africa, the Lumba in South Africa, somewhere in South Africa, claim to be Jews. So there are other tribes in Africa that claim to be Jews. But guess you what? Believe me, I mean, what can I say? The fact is that, as we said, they are wrong. They are wrong. They are dead wrong. Now, where do they get this notion that they are Jews? One, they are aware that there were 10 lost tribes of Israel. Remember yesterday I talked about Jacob and his 12 sons. And I said that Judah and Benjamin formed Judah, the kingdom of Judah. Now the rest were so many. Joseph, Ishak, there were many, quite many. Simon, there were Asher, Reuben, because I think it's called Reuben, and others. The 10 tribes, because each son formed a tribe. Now the 10 tribes had formed Israel. They were in the north. They were beaten to pulp. They were destroyed by the Assyrians. They were destroyed by the Romans, and they end up scampering all over the world. It is believed that the lost tribes end up going to present-day Pakistan, end up going to present-day Iran, Iraq, Jordan, and then Egypt. But some people assumed that they end up actually going to West Africa. They formed the Igbo. Others went to South Africa, forming the Lumba. Others went to Uganda, West East Africa. There's a tribe in East Africa among the Maasai, among the Gishu. There's a tribe there among the Gishu, and they call themselves Igbo. I mean, they call themselves Jew. So, in effect, your tribe mates are not the first one to claim to be Jews. There are others. Why? They say that they belong to the 10 lost tribes of Israel. They claim to belong to the 10 lost tribes of Israel, the sons of Jacob. And then what? They are wrong. DNA has proven that actually the Jews in Africa are not part of the Jews in Israel. In fact, the Jews that are lost tribes have been found in Pakistan, have been found in Iraq, and some of them in Egypt, and some of them in Ethiopia. Yes, some of them have been traced in Ethiopia, but they are not in Igbo land, as these guys claim. So it's a hoax, it's a claim which was politically motivated, especially after 1966. Remember that what happened when Ichuku had that uprising, the coup? Remember that? Yes, which coup actually wanted to be Igbo land, wanted to have self-determination, wanted to be a nation of their own, and that I'm a general, I'm a soldier, led that coup, and of course the government of Nigeria crushed it and ended up killing so many Igbo people. In their thousands, innocent Igbo people were killed, and of course even the soldiers who were Igbo at the time were massacred, were slaughtered. Soldiers who were Igbo were slaughtered. So there was that 1966 crisis that ended up finishing so many innocent Igbo lives. Now, from 1966, the Igbo people, many of them, not you, of course, have never rested. They want to have self-determination. In fact, they have been cause of secession since 1966. Igbo people have never stopped calling for secession. Even in the last election, I was following it. Some Igbo people are saying, we are not part of Nigeria. For us, we are a nation. Now, that's how special they are. They think, first of all, they are Jews. They think they are a special tribe. They think they are the children of God. They think they are more spiritual, they are more holy, they are more educated, they are more intelligent. So they think they can have their own nation. Now, the Igbo are very interesting people, very hardworking, and as I said, very intelligent. Academically, they have been excelling all over the world, wherever they go. In fact, in the UK, the first children to have distinctions among them, they're called intelligent conscience, were Igbo. They ranked higher than any other child in the UK. They were Igbo. So, and because of that, when they see this kind of results coming out, they say, you see, Igbos are Jews because they're so intelligent, because they can excel everywhere they go. So for us, we are special people. Now, they end up giving themselves accolades as if they're actually very special. And because of that, they want to secede from the rest of Nigeria. And of course, Nigeria will never accept that. They will never accept that because their state is actually very influential. Their state is very, very important to Nigeria. Therefore, Nigeria will never allow Igbo people to secede. I think there will be violence. So going back to you and the topic, it's kind of a misnomer. It's kind of a confusion we Africans have. Honestly, if you are black like me, why do you think you are an Arab? Because the Jews are Arabs. In simple terms, they are Arabs. Yes, there may be intermarriages. Yes, the Bible may confuse them because the Bible says that the Igbo are sons of Ham. That's how they call themselves. They trace themselves from Noah. Remember, Noah had 3 sons, Josephat, Shem, and Ham. Had 3 sons, if I remember very well. Now, the Igbo claim to be sons of Ham, that they trace their ancestry from Ham, because they said that Ham was black. But that's Bible. Now, you find you have Noah, who they say is an Arab, and this Noah has 3 sons. One of the sons is Ham, who is black. It is possible maybe he had a black woman, maybe. It is possible, but we are using the biblical interpretation, not historical. But the Igbo smartly use the Bible to justify. They use the Bible, they use the Torah to justify their existence. Just like the Jews don't care about the facts when it comes to their establishment. The Jews will say, what does the Torah say? The Torah say, this is our land. The Torah say, we are here first. Jews don't say, what does history say? No, they normally say, what does the Torah say? Now, the same confusion. And when I say Jews, I mean the Zionists, not every Jew. Let me qualify that. I just mean the Zionists. Now, the same thing applies to Jews that are Igbo. I will call them the Zionists of Nigeria now. The Zionists of Nigeria, the Igbo Zionists. For them, they say, this is our holy land. By the way, we are Jews. We are not even Nigerians. For us, we are special. You see, we are sons and daughters of Israel. We come from Ham. And we are descendants of Jacob, the 10 lost tribes. So that's the confusion they have. And of course, I love their worshiping. I've been following them. I've been watching videos. Actually, when I was traveling for the show, I was watching their videos, the way they pray. They are just like Jews. The way they dress, when they go to pray, those white tunics, they are very smart, very, very eloquent people, with that tunic of yours, the cape you put on, and the Igbos are very smart people. They are likable. They are very sociable. And as I said, they are very intelligent people. They are academically excelling. All of us would like to associate with them. But the problem they have is their superiority complex, which you call inferiority complex. But for me, I call it superiority complex. For them, they think they are superior than everyone in Nigeria. That's what they think. They are sons of God. Therefore, they are Jews. For them, they don't consider themselves as ordinary Nigerians. They are special. And that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is with Zionism in Israel. Why? They think they are special. They think they own the land. They think Palestinians must go away. It's their land. Now, if the Igbo of Nigeria have the same mentality, we are going to have a problem. Because assuming they get guns, assuming they get power, what will happen? They will say, for us, we are children of God. They become other Zionists in Nigeria, which is bad. They must understand that, look, we are all Nigerians. Yes, we have been able to achieve so much success, but we are all Nigerians. For me, anyone who calls for secession, I don't support. Me, I want one country. This business of dividing ourselves so that I come to Nigeria and then I say, get a passport to go to Igbo land, Igbo country, a country called Igbo. I don't want that. I want us to be united as Africans. So that's my summary. I so believe that the Igbos got it wrong. By the way, the god of the Igbo is called Eri. It's traced from the 8th century. Their god is called Eri, which is actually related to the biblical god also, but they call it Eri. From my research, of course, you can always give me your own view. But they think, as I said, that they are special people. And that's the problem. Whenever you think you are special than others, for you, call it inferiority complex. But people hate you. People hate you. The moment they think that you want to prove that you are special, automatically people are going to hate you. So Igbo must realize that people are going to hate them simply because they think others are low class. They think they're very intelligent. They think that they are achievers. They think they are wealthy. Of course, many Igbos are billionaires, by the way. When I was researching, I saw that many Igbos actually are doing well economically. Why? Because they have traveled all over the world. And by the way, let me also say this. Igbos were slave traders. History shows that Igbos were big-time slave traders. They were cooperating with Europeans. That's why they got their influence. When you go back to the 8th century, 9th century, about 15, 14, 16th century, Igbos were so strong, they were covering Benin or Benue, that place there. They were very, very strong as merchants. They were known for trade. They had a skill of negotiating. They are very influential people. They are good orators. They can negotiate. They can sell. So they were very good slave traders. Very good slave traders. So they got lots of money. They were so influential. The only problem is that they think, not all of them, of course, those who are so spiritual, they think that they are above the rest. So I rest my case. This is your show. I'm just a guest giving my idea.
Yes, you know that notion started coming up after when the white men came and introduced their religion, Christianity, Judaism, and the rest of them. So that notion started, yes, that notion started coming up, and they say that Eri founded Eri, one of the sons of Gad, founded Igbo land. But this is not true. According to Patrice Lumumba, a well-researched professor, he proved that wrong because historically, life started in Africa. Historically and scientifically, it's not just a thing of history. It has been scientifically proven by evolutionists that life started in Africa. So if life started in Africa and Igbo land is in Africa, so who is founding who? Yes, who is founding who? So if actually there is any nexus between these two tribes, we can actually, try to relate, but not changing our way of life to be like them. I call that, yes, yes, low mentality. Ignorance can
Obasi, I'm losing you. I think the connection, it will be back. Viewers, Obasi is a bit off because of connection, but he's of course talking about the Igbo of Nigeria. And of course, Obasi is himself Igbo. Obasi is a Nigerian lawyer who is a member of Humans TV Africa, and of course is the host for this show. I'm just a guest today in this show. Obasi is taking us through the Igbo, and we are discussing whether these guys are Jews and the menace of this integrated inferiority complex. He calls it the inferiority complex of the Igbo Jews who claim what they are not. And of course, Obasi is right because DNA has shown that the Igbo are not Jews at all. You Igbo people who claim to be Jews basically do not claim to be what you are not. You are not Jews. You are Africans. You are Igbo people, period. So this is what Obasi is saying today, and this is what I've been saying all the time, that Igbo people are not Jews. You are not special. No one is special. We are all equal before the law. And therefore, this calling of secession from Nigeria is bullshit. It should be stopped. Anyone who wants to divide Nigeria along these lines is actually doing a disservice to the people of Nigeria. I want to remind the Igbo Jews that remember the 1966 crisis. It must have taught you a big lesson. You cannot secede from Nigeria. Nigeria must be one united country, and we are tired of divisionism in Africa because we end up dividing each other and we kill each other, and other people actually come and benefit from our fighting. We buy guns from these people. We buy so many things to kill each other because of our inferiority complex. Now, the Igbo who claim to be Jews, you have got it wrong. And basically, even the Bible you are quoting is a book of falsehood. So don't base on the Bible to say you are special, you are Jews. You are not Jews. DNA has proven that you are far from it. You are simply Igbo. You were once slave traders. Everyone knows that. That was the basis of Igbo becoming so strong. So you slave traders, or ancestors, or children of slave traders, stop overhyping yourself that you are so important. You actually are not important as everyone else. All of us are important. We are Africans. We are human beings. We need to live each other. We need to live with each other in peace. And this is the clearing call I was making when I was talking about Israel. I'm saying no one is so special. Stop thinking that you are so special, that you must fight and kill all others because you think you are special. No one should be above the law. All of us human beings must live in harmony. So it's the call we make at Humans TV Africa. We must live in harmony. We must live Ubuntu life. If one tribe thinks they are special, we are going to have a problem. This is why we are here talking about the Igbo Jews who claim to be what they are not. These are masqueraders. These are not Jews. The Jews can be traced through DNA, and you are never Jews as we claim. You can have your gods, whatever God you want to worship, but don't think that we're inferior. I mean, don't think that we're superior to anyone else because we claim to be sons and daughters of a certain God you actually don't know about. Now, at this TV station, what we want is unity. We don't want division. We don't want religions to divide us. Obas was right to say, all these religions are fallen. All these religions were not part of us. Some of them actually were part of us by our ancestors, but to call yourself a Jew, Judaism has never been an African religion. If we are using Africa the way it is today, because initially actually Africa extended to the so-called Middle East, but now I'm using the Africa of today. Do not say that Ham, the son of Noah, is your ancestor. No way. You can't prove that with DNA. Do not say that the 12 tribes, the so-called 10 lost tribes of Israel, ended up in Africa and therefore you are part of the lost tribe of Israel. That's what you claim. When anyone reads about your history, you say that you are part of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. But we know the names of the lost tribes. We know where they came from. You are not part of them. You are not Reuben. You are not Simeon. You are not Levi. You are not Gad. You are not Asher, Isaac, and Joseph. You are not. Though you claim to be part of God, that you came from God's children. No way. You cannot be. These are Arabs. Look at yourselves. You are not part of them. In fact, people who can claim to be part of the Jews can be found in Ethiopia. And when you look at them, yes, someone can accept. They can be part of the Jews. People in Ethiopia, people in Eritrea, look at them and look at the Jews. They have a big connection. Look at their hair, look at their skin texture. These can claim. In fact, DNA has shown that, yes, there are some Jews in Ethiopia. But Igbo, give us a break. You are not, you are far from it. You are not Jews at all. So I agree with your fellow Igbo, a lawyer Obasi, who says that stop hyping your inferiority complex, calling it spiritual complex. Yes, at this TV, we think we are going to speak the truth and tell you that Igbo Jews, you claim what you are not in law. As lawyers, we say that that is a misrepresentation. I wish the host was here to tell you as a lawyer that actually Igbo people who claim to be Jews, you are misrepresenting yourselves, you are masqueraders. Hopefully someone will cut out this video and take it to you and tell you that we are saying you are masqueraders, you are misrepresenting the Jews, and actually you are overhyping your importance. You are not special, you are similar, equally the same as any other person in Nigeria. So the Igbo Jews, you must learn to swallow the bitter pill and accept to be part of Nigeria. Learn from 1966. Know that the coup you tried never helped. Know that you don't need to make the same mistake of secession. Nigeria must be one country. At Humans TV Africa, we don't support secession, we don't support segregation, we don't support racism. We are one people. Welcome, Obasi. I know the internet was disturbing you. Welcome, Obasi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I was filling in the gap for you. Now that you are
Yes, it's okay. It's okay. We are all panelists. We are all panelists. Okay, so let's go on a cultural break. Let's go on a cultural break.
continue. Me, I've stopped because we have to carry on.
Yes, yes, yes. We need to go on a cultural break. Yes, yes.
Okay. So,
All right, all right. Maybe they are not, you know. Yes, yes. Okay, let's continue. The issue is that, well, in as much as, you know,
ndị okposi na-anọdụkwawo sanye gbagba vaneje
si mama nwese odogwu si mama si mama ọkwa n'ike du ka isi ekene isi amụ ike du si mama ni ga dike isi aka kwa ọkwa n'ike aka kwa asị ike beke bija wele si mama ọkwa ọdekere si mama nwese ị ga dike isi aka kwa efu ka a na-eme esi maka esi nwanne nwoke odogwu dị n'elo nwese asị ike beke bija wele
okay, we are right back. That's a commercial break. So there's break in transmission. So let's continue. You know, I'm not entirely against self-determination. It's a fundamental right. Yes, we have to allow people to vent. Sometimes in a society, what people, you know, put up as a kind of agitation for self-determination is just to enable. It's just the government do things. It's just the government do things better. Some of them may not even be agitating for the country to secede. but for government to fill in some gaps. There may be some gaps of marginalization. There may be some gaps of misgovernance. There is some gap of inconclusive governance, not, carrying everyone along. I am not against that agitation for self-determination as a metaphor to call the government to order. What I tend to, correct is this notion, which is part of the reasons for the issue. Using misinformation as a tool for pressing your demand. Using misinformation as a tool for agitation. It's the same thing. The other person carrying out misgovernance, which you feel aggrieved about, and you on the other part, instead of venting your grievances in a logical manner, you want to import some mythology, saying that Igbos are special. I want him to play the slide for me. There is this respected lawyer I love so much. I still love him, but that notion I've made him, he continually tried to side with Israel, which is not supposed to be so. As a thinker, as a logical thinker, what you should do, the best thing to do is to campaign for peace. Yes, if actually it's the Palestinian that caused the problem, if the world go for peacekeeping, and there is, although if the world powers are sincere, just as I said earlier, the world power seems to be benefiting from the war. That is why whenever there is war, they're making millions of naira, millions of dollars. In Nigeria, they make millions of naira. In overseas, millions of dollars, euros, pounds. That is what the international, and they use that as a medium to make some mineral resources. So that is why sometimes they are not even sincere. They create some of these wars for enrichment. But if the world power is so sincere, the best thing to do in this war is to ensure that there is peacekeeping. Thereafter, the International Criminal Court is there. The ICJ is there. International Court of Justice is also there. So we can iron this thing out without supporting any party. Thereafter, if we have maintained peace, we then call the erring parties to order. But the problem we have with these world powers is that they use war as a business. War for them is a business. War for them is a business. If you do some background studies, you discover that this war that is ongoing may not even, may be inspired by some elites, some bourgeoisies over some persons in power that maybe they are into armory, they are manufacturing armory, and they needed to sell their products so they can inspire war. Even the Hamas that is causing the mass murders, that has led to incited the so-called reprisal attack in Gaza, may not even be serving the interest of the Palestinians. And it is possible that it is some persons, still some persons that wants to make money through the war, that will tell the Hamas, cause this war so that we can make money. The Hamas may not even be fighting a true cause. Sometimes it is.
Let me add something there, my counsel.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Now, I agree with you. And since we are discussing people who want to be special, and we are discussing Zionists, I always want to differentiate between Jews. Jews are peace-loving people. I always say that. In fact, I've been saying that my mentor was a Jew, the loving man, just like someone might be Igbo like you, very good person. So, a person like me, very good person. I mean, we are first of all human beings. But what is destroying Israel is Zionism. And Zionism gone wrong. Zionism gone wrong. Because claiming to own piece of land is okay, in my view. Wanting to have a history is okay, in my view. All of us want to have a home, to be honest. So what's wrong with that? To say this is my home. But if you want to stay in that home alone, you don't want to listen to any other person, and whoever pokes a finger at you, you want to finish them, you want to kill them, and actually cover more land, to me it becomes a problem. So whereas I love Jews and I've been friendly to many Jews who are good people, I am against the government of Israel for killing innocent Palestinians in the name of Zionism, in the name of we are the greatest, this is our land, all others are inferior. That is Zionism gone wrong. Zionism would have been, this is our land, but we can share it with others. To me, that would be the good Zionism. I'm not against Zionism. It's okay. But how does it become wrong? You want to own this piece of land. Here is Temple Mount. Here is Jerusalem. Here is all these holy places. And you say, this is mine. It is not yours. Lastly, before you come in, you mentioned Hamas. Equally, Hamas is not a good force. Hamas is political. Yes, it's true that Hamas is the elected government of Gaza. But Gaza is very small, about 365 square kilometers. Now, Hamas is playing politics because Iranians are supporting Hamas. Lebanese, Hezbollah, are supporting Hamas. So they are becoming political. They are fighting a war to finish the Zionists. And I'm using this word deliberately. Hamas is a terror group. And I'll repeat that in my own way. Why? For them, they are not looking for peace. They are against Zionism. And on the other side is Zionism, which is militant. They are not for peace. When you hear the Prime Minister of Israel talking today, Netanyahu, and the army spokesperson, these are purely Zionists. I use the word evil. Netanyahu is not for peace. Today I was listening to him speak on TV. Netanyahu says we are going to clean them off. Now, if someone says we are going to clean them off, which type of leader is this one? To me, this one is a terrorist. Because finishing people off means killing children and women. So
yes.
To me,
the propagators of, yes. Okay.
To me, Netanyahu equals Hamas. They are
squared.
They are the same. But
Zionists and Hamas, the same.
Yes, sadly, they don't represent Israelites. They don't represent Palestinians. They are representing themselves. I'm done on that.
Yes, it's a political move. They are gaining. So let's go back to the show. The show today is Igbos are Jews, the menace of this inferiority complex. So let's listen to what Professor Lumumba has to say.
Yes.
You know, Professor Lumumba is a Pan-Africanist. He's a wide travel Pan-Africanist and a lawyer.
No, it is the Israelites that moved away from Igbo land. And I dare say, I hear the Igbos say that they came from Israel. No, it is the Israelites that moved away from Igbo land into Israel. I hear the Igbos say that they worship like the Jews. No, it is the Jews that worship like the Igbo. And I say this not only and not to romanticize our culture and our tradition, but to remind us that for a long time we have judged ourselves too harshly, that the time has now come that we must recognize ourselves for who we are.
We are right back. Professor Patrick Lumumba is a man to reckon. He's a Pan-Africanist, he's a lawyer, he's a researcher. So going through this topic, I felt like you know giving credit to him because he detests this inferiority complex. Oh yes, this inferiority complex. He detests it with passion because I wonder why a person with great history of civilization, technology, and knowledge as African. Igbo is in Africa, quite all right. Africa has a strong history. And since Igbo is in Africa, Igbo equally has a strong history. I wonder why you will be thinking you are Jews, therefore you are too special. No, that superiority complex in some of us Igbos is actually inferiority complex in my own view. There's something we call I will translate it in English. There's something we say in our local parlance that na mmadụ na-eke ọkụ chele na ya na ahịa mmanụ, that a person is burning thinking is oozing oil, is producing oil. So when you are burning and you think you are producing oil, so that is the sense. That is what an Igbo man calling himself or herself a Jew is. Having inferiority complex, whereas you think, that claim of Jewishness makes you superior. So there is no superior human. There's no superior human. I think I keep propagating this. There's no superior human. Every person is equal. So I want I want to play the picture of that my mentor, who I won't say indoctrination is a bit bad. When we are growing up, we are subjected to some forms of indoctrination that if you are not strong enough, even as a scholar, a well-researched scholar, you will still be, thinking towards that line. That my mentor, a man I hold on a high esteem, a lawyer, keeps, supporting the Israel side, whereas these people fail to understand the Zionists and the Hamas may not actually be representing the whole Israel and Palestine. So, well, we are waiting.
Yes, as we are waiting, I want to add this as we are waiting for the photos to come, that I respect Professor Lumumba, Pierre Lumumba. Of course, I even follow his Facebook page and remember there. Of course, Lumumba has been at the head of Kenya Law School. Let us go back to the photos here. The photos I see, these are photos from Igbo land, and these are Igbo people, and this is how basically they dress, they gather. They are very lively people. They are very, very communal people. They are very, very friendly people. They are very, very community oriented. Igbo people work as a unit. That's why they believe in nationalism. In fact, that's the word. They believe in nationalism, self-determination. They always move together. They work together. They love community work. They are very intelligent people. They are very hardworking people. They are very proud of their culture. The only problem is that some of them think that they are very special. That's why I find a problem with some of these Igbo Jews. Yeah, they are very smart people, very smart. They have their very good traditional clothes, colors. Me, I love Igbos. They are very good people, very intelligent from that angle. They have a history, those art and all that, which can be traced from the 8th century, by the way. Igbo's history can be traced from 8th century. They have a long history, very good history. Very good history. Igbos, you see those kind of art and craft. Igbo history can be traced from the 8th century. They're not people of yesterday. They've been there. That's their kind of cape. You see, Obasi has that kind of stuff. Yeah? Yes, Igbos have a lot of regalia. They respect their culture. They respect their tribe, social norms. I'll be asking Obasi if someone can easily marry among the Igbos. I don't know whether they can simply allow intermarriages or they simply keep to themselves. I haven't actually been able to search on that. So back to you, Basi.
Yes, you can. Provided you find a better half among our Igbo beautiful maidens, you can. However, you must be ready to, pay bride price. In some part of yes, in some in some part of Igbo land, the bride price is so expensive, you know. But in my side, before you can, traditionally marry a lady, you must have up to 2 million naira.
You must have 2 million naira.
Up to, in an average, up to in an average.
Then do you pay cows? Do you pay cows to marry Igbo women? Do you pay cows?
No, it's a choice. It's a choice. But actually, the money you will spend is huge. It's huge. You buy a lot of goodies.
Okay, they prefer money. They prefer buying goods, eh?
You buy a lot of goodies, beers. You have a DJ. You buy clothing. There are a lot of. In fact, on a average, you spend close to 2 million naira to, contract a good traditional marriage in
Yes.
my society.
So I can see it's very hard to marry from Igbo people because they're very expensive ladies there. Okay.
And in our society, if you contract a registry marriage, a statutory marriage, the society will feel you've not married.
Oh, wow.
Yes, they will feel you've not married until you come for the traditional rites. You can imagine. So there is this sense of you know traditionalism among our people, and sometimes even the people that associate themselves with Christianity, when it comes to traditionalism, where they will eat and drink beer, they will they will run back and identify with their customs and tradition. But when it comes to doing the actual custom and tradition, in terms of worshiping the traditional, worshiping God in the traditional way, they will run away and turn to Christians. So that is how funny our people may be sometimes. So
That's not being funny. That is culture. Of course, I told you secretly my story on our group. I mean, all these cultures in Africa, Africans are very strict when it comes to culture. Africans are damn strict. In fact, Europeans have moved on. Americans have moved on. Asians are still a bit strict. Chinese are still a bit strict with their culture. Indians are still a bit strict. In fact, it's the West which is moving on away from their cultures. The West, when I say the West, I mean the Europe and the Americas. These are losing their cultures. But trust me, when you go to India, these guys still respect their cultures. When you go to China, they still respect. I had a Chinese friend who was telling me about marriage in China. It is very complicated. You don't simply go with your shirts and trousers when you want to marry a Chinese woman. The same applies to Japan. Japanese are very strict with their women, and Africans, I swear to them, we're also very strict with our women. Of course, we have these tribes and the cultures. Sometimes I think, and my opinion, which is a humble opinion, that bloody wealth is a bit harsh. We shall discuss this. In fact, we're going to have a topic on blood wealth here, because in Nadepu, a fellow Nigerian was of the view that you should come and we discuss this blood wealth thing. And I'm against it personally.
no, but the problem I have is that yes, we are strict with our culture, but we have discarded our culture of religion. Is Christianity is Christianity our cultural religion? No. We are strict with some part that has to do with enjoyment. But when it comes to accepting our religion, they run away.
Yes.
So okay.
Sorry, and I agree with you that the problem we have in Africa is that we are so religious to the extent that the Igbos are not alone. As I mentioned, that in Uganda, in eastern part of Uganda, we have the Jews of Uganda. You can simply Google it, you'll be surprised. They are like Igbos.
Yes. I researched about it.
Uh-huh.
Even in
Now,
South Africa.
yes, even South Africa. Now you can imagine that if you have this confusion in Africa, where we are good at embracing everything else from abroad, but we despise our own, then there is a problem. Because if you think that it's better to be a Jew, why is it not better to be, say, a Congolese?
You see?
So, yeah. So you see that this is the inferiority complex we have as a people in Africa. That yes, when the Europeans came, they came, found us worshiping our own gods. I'm sure that the Igbo people worshipped their own gods.
Yes, yes, yes. My name or bus is associated with an ancestral god, a deity.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, if Mukasa, my name Mukasa is the name of a god. My name Kato is the name of a god. Now, if my ancestors worshipped Mukasa, a god of the sea, and Kato, a god of the twins, why should I despise my gods today and I embrace gods brought by imperials? Now, lastly, if I have the energy to dismiss the gods brought by the imperials, reverse. If I have the guts to dismiss the gods worshipped by my ancestors, if I think that Mukasa is the wrong god, why don't I use the same method to dismiss Jesus Christ? Because, as you said rightly, it shows that I am inferior. It shows that my gods are inferior, but Jesus Christ is superior. Now, this, when I was growing up at about 12 years, I said, okay, if they say that shrines, because we used to have shrines, shrines are where you go and worship the traditional gods. Now, the church told us that the shrines I was seeing at my village were Satanism. So I did ask as a child, I was a teenager, I asked if the gods of my land are bad, how sure am I that the gods from Europe are right? So if I accept to say that I am going to cancel my gods, I'm going to use the same method to cancel the gods from Europe and Rome and Israel and elsewhere. The same method I'm going to use to cancel my gods is the same method I used to cancel gods everywhere, and I became an atheist. I think if Africans become more proud of ourselves and say, why should I put a photograph of Jesus Christ in my house without putting a photograph of Obasi? My grandfather was Basi. I rather worship my grandfather than Jesus Christ. Because
Exactly.
I saw my grandfather. Because I saw my grandfather. Because my grandfather paid my school fees. Because I have DNA of my grandfather in my blood. So why don't I worship? If I wanted to worship, I better worship Basi than Jesus Christ. So if I'm not going to worship Basi, therefore I will never worship Jesus Christ. That was my method of dismissing religions. Back to you, Council.
Okay, moving away from that. Yes, it's now ready with the photo. So you can play the photo so that we can wrap up the event for today.
Yes.
That is the photo of my mentor that
Is in
still
Nigeria.
Okay.
You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. You have something big happening. Is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them. Also Christians, like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years.
Okay, moving back to us, it has been a good time being with you, Comrade Kato. But what is your parting shot to our Igbo brothers who think they are special, who who have this false claim of being Jews?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for hosting me. I'm glad that I've been hosted by you. Viewers, thank you so much for watching. Producer, thank you so much for being wonderful producers and for being patient with my ranting today. I have to say this in conclusion that Igbos who are Jew Igbos, not like Obasi. Obasi is an Igbo, an excellent man, an upright man who doesn't claim what he is not. I have to repeat it for you, Igbos who claim to be Jews. Stop misrepresenting Jews. Stop masquerading. Stop calling yourselves what you are not. In fact, we can prosecute you on behalf of Jews because you are not Jews. You are not Jews. So, Igbo Jews, stop masquerading. That is illegal. You are not Jews. You are Igbo, and Igbo are noble, intelligent, strong people. That's my take. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the show. See you guys on the next show. I love you all. I love Humanist TV Africa. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share our videos. Thank you.
Thank you very much.